Hey, Broadneck JV Hockey. Coach Joe here. Just wanted to touch base with you on a few things for the game against Easton tomorrow, Monday the 20th, 4 p.m. at the Brigade Sports Complex. So here's some notes here, the logistics, pregame. Hey, everyone just show up in warm-ups. No need to dress up. It's just a quick turn from getting out of school to heading to the rink. So just be ready to warm up as soon as you get there. Some objectives for the game. You can see them listed here. Face-offs. We're going to talk about the face-offs again. We did that last time. Passing and catching. We want to work on that. Always want to work on that. Offensive zone entry. We worked on that last time as well. We're going to continue to work on that. Puck control. We're going to talk a little bit more about puck control and how we're going to work in the offensive zone. Protecting the house. We need to protect Jagan. Make sure that the other team doesn't get good shots on them. We want to make them have low probability shots from the outside and the edges. And then on ice communication. All right. So I'm going to pull out my rink diagram and go through some of these real quick.
Okay, so first up, I want to talk about face-offs here. So Bruins are in red, Easton's in black. And what I want us to do for face-offs is to continue what we practiced before, just a simple approach to face-offs. We want the center to win back. Doesn't matter which side he wins it back to. Win it back to the D. The D will settle back a little bit. Look for a D to D pass. And then while that's going on, the wing is going to curl and split the D. The right wing is going to go to the blue line and post. The center is going to cut through here, looking for outlet passes from these D, and then continue to cut towards this way, like that. Okay? So that way now we have some options for the defensive players. Defensive players can hit the long pass to the wing at the posting on the blue line. They can look for the other wing cutting through the middle here if they get a passing lane. They also have a passing opportunity here as the center cuts through. And then they can always go back to the opposite D. So that's what I want to see us do for face-offs as best as we can. All right, next up we'll talk about zone entry. So let's talk about zone entry here now. We've done this before with F1 up the outside going wide. F2, a crash in the net, and then F3 in trail of F1. So we're going to continue that as our zone entry. So let's talk about that real quick. So let's say that off of the face-off, the defensive player, center wins the face-off back to the left D. Left D passes to the right D. The center makes his curl. The left wing heads towards the center, curls towards the center as we talked about, and the right wing posts over here on the blue line. And let's say that the D hits the center as the center's curling through. Now, as the center curls through, picks up the puck and continues into the zone going wide. Now, in this instance here, we've got we're going to look at the center here to be F1. The wing up here is going to be F2. And then this winger will be F3. So now as F1 enters the zone, F3 is going to position themselves so that they can pick up a drop pass if they need. F2 is going to crash the net on the far side. Now, the key thing for F2 here is to try and draw those defensive players away. By drawing those defensive players away, it opens up opportunities here. We create a 2-on-1 with F1 and F3. Now, at this point, F1 has some options. F1 can shoot, all right? They can shoot. F1 can pass to F2. F1 can drop it to F3. Then, if necessary, let's say there's no pass, there's no shot. F1's kind of stuck. So he can curl back around, or F1 can curl back around and set up and get ready for the next opportunity. Start cycling, looking for passes and so on, and look for the D players coming into the zone to help out. All right, so that's something that we can do for our zone entry. So F1 swings wide, F2 far post of the net, F3 in trail. Then F1 has the opportunity to shoot, pass it to F2, drop pass it to F3, halt, delay, curl back out, look to set it up for another play. All right. Okay, next up we're going to talk about puck control in the offensive zone. I'd like to call this, I know people call it cycling. I'm not so sure that we should call it cycling, but what we're going to do is mutually support each other with the attack triangle. And in this situation, let's say that we've brought it into the zone just like we talked about. F1 has gone wide, and F2 has gone to the post, and F3 is in trail. Now, let's say F1, like we talked about previously, doesn't really have an opportunity, so decides to curl back out like this. In this instance, F2 recognizes that F1 is curling out and starts to provide some support by coming back into this area, waiting for a drop pass from F1. And in this case now, F3 recognizes that we're getting into this cycle, and F3 is going to reposition where F2 was, and then F1, after dropping the pass, is going to reposition up to F3. Now F2, has options, again, looking for F3 crashing the net, and then also looking for F1 out in the high slot as F1 moves out that way. And then F2 can do the same thing. F2 can bring it back out here. If nothing's available, circle back around, cut back around, or drop pass it to now F3, who's moving back in this way. And this is how we can cycle the puck, waiting for that opportunity. Now, the key thing to remember here, there are two key things to remember here. One, passing and catching. Okay, we want to control the offensive zone. We want to control the puck. The more time we have the puck, the less time the other team has an opportunity to score. So we want to keep the puck, and in this instance, by controlling the puck, by making good passes and good catches, we can maintain the puck, possession of the puck, and deny that puck from the other team, giving us a much greater chance of scoring and winning the game. The other thing to keep in mind is, okay, we're both JV teams, so we're out here learning. They're learning just like we're learning, and they're going to make mistakes. We want to help them learn from their mistakes. So we're going to take advantage of every mistake they make. So as we start the cycling, what we're looking for are the defensive players to find themselves out of position. Once they find themselves out of position, if we recognize it, we can get a pass off to whoever's left open and an opportunity for a shot. All right, so that's what we're looking for on the puck control in the offensive zone. Okay, let's talk about defensive zone coverage, protecting the house. All right, Broadneck is in the red here. And you can see I've kind of drawn, as best as I can, a house, signifying the area that we definitely want to protect. This is the area of high probability shots. We don't want the other team taking shots from inside that area. We want to make sure they stay outside. So in this situation here, what we got is D1 is on the opponent X1 puck carrier. And F1, and in most cases, usually our center, but F1 is providing support to D1 on the puck carrier. Now, a couple of things can happen here. One, let's say that the puck carrier gets the puck over to his teammate X2. In this situation, F1 now picks up X2, and D1 reverts to a supporting role. Now, a couple other things to watch out for here is we've got X1 up here. X3. D2, your responsibility is keeping an eye on this guy up here because we don't want him cutting in and getting a pass. Your job is to make sure you got X3 covered, okay? So if he starts to come in keep your eye on him and make sure he doesn't get a shot off. Okay. The other thing here is when the puck is along the boards out here, there's a tendency for F2 to kind of drift over to the boards as well. Please don't do that. Remember, we got to protect the house. If you drift out over here, it creates a whole bunch of space in here and gives the opponents the opportunity with both D1 and X3 having lots of space and time to be able to catch a puck and get a shot off. All right. And then lastly, let's say the puck switches sides. The X or X1 or X2 is able to dump it around the boards, ring it around the boards. In this case, now we need for D1 and D2 to switch. Okay, so D1 is going to come and post himself in front of the net, and D2 is going to go pick up the opponent with the puck. Please, D2, do not leave your position until D1 says that he's got it. Okay, so D1, make sure that as you come to pick up the protection in front of the net, you let D2 know, I got it. Okay, so let them know, communicate. This is one of the other things that we want to work on is on-ice communication. So talking to each other in all aspects of everything we've talked about today. But making sure here especially that D2, when you're D1, when you're coming in to pick up the net, that you relieve D2 and you tell them that you got it so that D2 can release and go after the puck. All right? Got to happen quickly too, okay? All right, so that's it. All I wanted to say for our game against Easton. I got a little bit of intel from the Kent Island coach. Kent Island coach said that their team is a little bit better than their JV team is a little bit better than Kent Island's JV team. So Easton has a couple of good players. We'll have to watch out for them. But we should be able to win this game and practice all the things that we're practicing that we've talked about here and get some really good learning under our belts during this game. All right? So looking forward to tomorrow. I'll see you all at the rink. Bye.